So we'll go ahead and get started with our road and bridge meeting. I see one of the items on the agenda is Errol Smith. That's you, I presume, right? 105th North right-of-way discussion.
Here's a little map I put together showing Errol's parcel there, and the 50-foot that we have deeded is dimensioned there, and also a 40-foot from the existing center line is shown. If you were to keep a 40-foot right away on the north side, you would be able to dispose of roughly 15 feet on the east side and 13 feet on the west, a quarter mile west. And the second page is a picture standing at his southwest corner looking east, and it shows the amount of encroachment at that building.
On the 50-foot?
Correct. Yeah, that red line would be the north line of the 50-foot that's deeded to the county.
And roughly how much is?
There's 10.5 feet to the eve from that 50-foot to the eve line. 10.5 feet roughly.
To the outside of the eve?
Right. Okay. So if you, like I say, if you kept that 80-foot right away, 40 feet either side of existing center line, I think it would take care of that encroachment. And I think the parcels on the GIS map are fairly accurate. The second picture there is standing at his northeast corner looking west. You can see it includes some of that property north of the ditch, like we show on the GIS map.
So there's property line problems all along there.
Yeah, there's still. Yes.
Yeah.
As far as the ditch?
Yeah, that encroaches on my neighbor quite a bit. Which we didn't know.
So David, if we went to the 80-foot, that would match up then with what's east and west, right?
Correct.
On the prescriptive?
Yes,
Okay.
on the east side of 25th East, it's been platted, and both sides of the road, they dedicated 40 either side, so it's an 80-foot wide right away.
And it would line up
Pretty close, yeah.
pretty close, you know, because
Not exactly.
Not exactly, but pretty close.
if you went that extra half foot to make sure you didn't have to take the building, you know, or it's grandfathered in, that's probably not gonna kill a project if you ever have one.
Not especially. I mean, it gets difficult if that road is ever widened out to a 5-lane section, or if there's ever a need for a signal at the intersection. But it gets really difficult.
How many years do you think that'll take?
Hopefully, none of us will be around and that happens, but
By then we'll be using hover cars and we'll need.
So Roger, how do we do that? I mean, how does the county do a property disposition like this?
I think we'd have to declare the either odd lot or
Kind of,
surplus.
yes, similar to that Highway 26
Yeah, we've gone through.
Cooper property.
would have to get a legal description and
Right.
go through that process, so.
Which might require him to at least pay the costs,
Right, fair market value.
fair market value,
Mhm.
you know, offset by the costs of surveys and things like that. Like, I just follow the same model we did on the Riley Highway.
So Errol, are you following what we're?
I can barely hear
I know
what
you-
you're
I know it's
saying.
hard for you to hear. David, go ahead and explain to him what we're thinking.
Well, what they're thinking is that I know Ellsworth and Associates has done this survey.
Yeah,
So if they could come up with a legal description for an area, this area here, then the county could, as soon as we get that description, we could put a fair market value on that and deduct the amount of the survey. And then any remainder you would have to pay the county and they would deed you this portion from the 50-foot county owns,
I would have to pay the county for this section here.
right?
Just the 10 feet.
Just the difference between the 40-foot right of way and the 50-foot right of way.
Well. Yeah, what's frustrating is when I purchased the property, I supposedly purchased 5.6 acres. Nobody told me at that point that I was buying the whole road. You know, because after I had, had the property for a number of years, probably 15, maybe 20 years, the county came back, or sent me a tax notice that says you don't own 5.6 acres. You only own 3.98 acres. And so, but they never indicated, you know, where that line was. And so I said, well, I've paid taxes on 5.6 acres now for almost 20 years. What about that money? Well, we can't do anything about that. So, you know, I don't think that's a fair deal, you know.
In order for the county to dispose of real property,
Pardon?
in order for the county to dispose of real property, there's Idaho code that we have to follow.
Yeah.
And
Well, what about
That is
the money I had to pay in taxes though? You know, for all those years on the whole thing, and then, you know, and then I don't remember what year it was that they changed that over to 3.98, but all those previous years I've been paying on, you know, 5.6 acres.
I don't know.
Yeah, and so,
Well, the difficult thing, and maybe you can see it if it picks it up here. The difficult thing is we don't have the ability, the county collects taxes for all other taxing districts. If you've got a cemetery district, if you've got a highway district.
well, I understand that, yeah.
We have no ability to go back and collect it from them. But to get an on lot appraisal like that, it's not gonna be the cost of like it would be on the building. You know, it's just gonna be that 10-foot sliver at probably, is that still an
Okay,
actual?
so what is the,
Is it still,
what is the approximate cost
the
of
majority
that?
of it is?
Or how much ground is that approximately?
David can tell us here.
Is that an acre or
I doubt it.
No.
Half an acre, roughly,
it's a half an acre?
just under half an acre.
And who determines the price of it?
The assessors,
The county assessor?
yeah, the appraisers, yeah.
We have the same concerns with the problem we had like this that was deeded to the county in the 1930s. I don't know when this was.
1914,
1914. And, you know, they had a lot of the same concerns. And all I'd say is let them work through the process, because by the time you find out if it's an ag zone, you know, the assessor will find the actual value. And then where it's an odd lot and offset by the engineering cost, I can't imagine it's going to be a tremendous.
So is that based on current value or what?
It'd have to be based on current value.
Okay, now, this line here, where does that match up with the rest of the road below my property then? Does that match up with with the boundary line on the rest of the property down to St. Leon at the end of my property?
your west end.
Yeah,
No, there There is no property deeded for right of way west of you, only your parcel. So west of you, it would fall back to prescriptive right of way, which would be 25 feet either side of the existing center line.
So this line here, that you're showing, it just kind of comes back 10 foot to the south.
Right, yeah, it'd be 40 feet north of the center line of the road is where it'd be,
40 feet.
40 feet. So that we can keep 80 total through there.
We're trying to make it possible for your barn so that we're not intersecting that
so,
barn. We're
but-
trying to help you save that.
But if this is ever widened, then I lose still a good chunk of my lawn and all of that, so
That's-
clear up to 25th.
Yeah, that's the reason the county purchased that years ago, is they anticipated that someday that would need to be that property.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, all that was built before I ever
Yeah,
bought any of it, so.
Well, and I don't know if you got title insurance when you purchased that, but they
You
should.
don't know what?
If you got title insurance when you bought the property,
I don't remember.
yeah, because they should have discovered that, but we find that when they do title insurance, sometimes they don't pick up those things, especially on the.
So what does that do for me if you got title insurance?
They should have disclosed it, then you'd have to fight with your title company, but why don't we let David kind of do the work? Come up with, you can get hold of the assessor and come up with an estimated value,
Okay,
so you could at least know what we're dealing with. Because right now, we're speculating.
well, yeah, I guess we don't have a choice. I've been there for almost 50 years and
Well, but it would also be a favor to whoever gets the property after you to have the title cleaned up.
yeah, well, my kids want to stay there, so I don't know, you know,
Well, do them a favor.
yeah.
But
Now we gotta argue with our neighbors.
don't do them a favor for the next 40 years. Tell them you'll be around that long.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not happy about it, but I guess I gotta live with it, so,
we'll have David get back to you
okay,
when he has the value.
all right, yeah, I appreciate that,
Yeah, I've got your number, so
okay,
I'll give you a call.
all right, thank you,
You bet.
Thank you for coming in. We'll get this taken care of.
okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time,
Okay,
I guess I can go then. Okay,
go back down to the land of sun for a 70.
okay, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna, well, I gotta do my taxes and then head back.
All right, Lance, where do you want to go next?
Do we have somebody else here from the public you want
Is there any public comment that you'd like us to take first? Okay, go ahead.
to, okay? So on the agenda is an agreement with Forsgren Engineering for the widening, the bidding out of the Hammond Road project. I don't know if you were able to look at that and have any comments about it.
I didn't have any. I don't understand them well enough usually to.
Then I would suggest or recommend that we sign the agreement. I'll get it back to them and they'll get the plan set and advertisement and stuff together and get going on it. So,
Yeah, that'd be good to get done this summer before, school's out before the next one.
yeah,
Is there a motion to approve this agreement?
I'll second it. Bid.
and there was only one place for a signature.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay,
Were you able to adjust the letters or look at the letters for Evolution Resources? And what were your comments on those?
I think my comments were the same as we talked about in legal yesterday. you know, that as long as we support that concept universally, you're
Yeah.
not really endorsing a specific company. It just separates us from any liability.
So were you gonna, I understood you were gonna draft up a letter.
I could, if you want me to, or
Yeah, that's what we kind of indicated,
Yeah.
that we would draft it up from us, so give us
Okay.
just a couple of days.
Okay.
Can you do that then? You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
it'll be short, simple, short and sweet.
That's fine. I just, again, when I saw the letters the way they were, I was uncomfortable with signing them because I didn't know what it was asking for or whether it was committing us to something.
So, well, I think, since I've been here, that'll be the third or fourth, different proposal for
Doing something like this.
doing
Yeah.
something like that, but I can understand back east, they're talking about recycling food.
Food,
New York and everything.
Pre-consumed or
That's-
never mind.
that's good, I'll grow more.
No recycling, I mean, throw it in the garbage, reconstitute it,
Oh,
make it edible.
oh,
Soylent Green.
I thought they were turning it into compost.
No,
Sounds a little sci-fi to me.
that's a back east.
Rats do okay on it.
Yeah. Michelle had one item that needs
Yes,
attention.
so we have the Badger Creek subdivision is set to expire for the preliminary plat tomorrow. Eagle Rock Engineering has been trying to get it to the point so it could be signed and recorded, but they are not there within that 1 year time frame. This is in half of it. When it went to the Planning and Zoning Commission, we had a lot of discussion. The rezoning was not successful for that property, but they just did the plat for the R1 zone. Half of the property is in the area of impact with the city of Iona. At that time, now the entire property is within that area of impact with the city of Iona.
This
So-
is also along 49th North.
That was my next
Across from the
question.
school, or it surrounds the school, I should say.
Yeah.
So it's that property that surrounds the.
And as part of their
existing
development
school.
agreement for this phase, they don't want to do the improvements along 49th North until a
Oh, phase
subsequent subdivision of this. And I have some concerns with
Subsequent of their phase or another subdivision.
another phase of their subdivision, but they don't tell me when that's gonna happen. And so if they don't do the portions along 49th North now, and they hold off until 5-10 years from now, what does that mean for the school district and other improvements along
Yeah,
there?
and we're still trying to, I know Austin's working on something. I just have a thought, because if we could give them a conditional extension, conditioned on, explain to me what we would put in there to make sure that if we extended that to otherwise, you know, you gotta give them some type of a hard deadline.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Help me come up with some language that would go on a conditional,
okay.
that would satisfy.
So I think
This is,
on a conditional, we can extend it conditionally, provided that they work with Public Works to get the improvements on 49th North done in a timely fashion.
Okay, but
Yeah,
what's the definition of timely?
That's what I was about to ask.
During phase one, division one.
In phase one?
well, and this is phase one. So if you say the improvements along 49th North have to be accompanied with the development of phase one.
because
Okay.
phase 2 is directly to the west of this.
Well, maybe, but they don't know, and that's what's been confusing, because I saw another proposal for phase two that was south of there and didn't tie in with this.
Well, cause I know the master plan, the original one that was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission had phase two directly to the west. And they had requested trying to change phase two so it would go down, so they wouldn't have to put in the road next to the school property. And we told them, no, that would not work, wouldn't deal with the traffic flow. And so I'm sure
Again,
they're still trying to do
play
that.
games.
Okay, so if we gave them an extension condition on the,
Improvements on 49th North being in conjunction with phase one development.
all of 49th North, including the part that goes along phase two,
Maybe just the frontage on.
I think
phase one?
just I think what we've done in the past is the frontage on 49th North,
okay?
and that keeps us out of off-site improvements, I guess.
We've had some developments that have caused us problems by tying it to phases.
That's what Austin's working on,
Yes. he's
changing our
working through it now.
standards, so when it comes in as a whole master plan, they have to build the road with the master plan and then develop it. That way we don't have the problem we've had with the city of Idaho Falls down on 65th,
Yeah,
where they build the whole subdivision, don't do any improvements on 65th and leave it in the county.
but we're not causing some of that kind of problem if we only tie the condition to phase one and not make them do
It,
the entire.
it probably a little bit, I think this would be kind of a change of what we're doing until we get the full plan together. So I mean, the reality of it, I don't know if the school's talking about still selling off part of that.
I haven't heard that the school is selling off part of it, but they're trying to figure out how they're gonna do their access road off of 49th North, which doesn't directly butt up against this phase. There's a
Phase
section,
two.
there's a couple 100 feet in between it,
And that's phase two, it's about
Yes.
200 feet.
possibly. And that's where it gets back to, this is just division number one. We haven't seen the preliminary plat for division number two.
For the final plat for division two. Yeah.
Well, preliminary or final.
So could we give them extension on coming up with a plan for both as far as a commitment on the road widening?
Well, and the commitment, if you do it within a year, and that would make it kind of coincide with what the school is gonna do.
And it would also, they'd have to come back in for another extension in a year.
Yes, because once you record it with, it's supposed to be 12 months record. Then you have another year or within another 12 months to get division two done and recorded. So, and then it continues because they have several phases in this, and it's those phase three on is where the lot sizes and the roads are smaller and not what you have in the area of impact with Iona. So it's grandfathered. It would be grandfathered unless they let those further phases expire. It's one of those messy ones.
Maybe we
They're
just take
making it difficult.
the piece we've been buying off right now and do phase one with intent language on phase two.
I think that's,
Can you come up with some wording written down?
yeah,
If we do it before the end of today, you've got something, we can probably do it today, if not, until next Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, was my question, are we bound by some time frame here? When does
it
this?
expires tomorrow.
Expires tomorrow.
So we do
So we
need to
have
take
to-
care of it.
Scratch up something that would satisfy an engineer.
Okay, so that
Okay,
is an action item, but we can just kind of table it.
I'll get back,
anytime today that we're in
Yeah.
session to take care of it.
I'll get back to my office and scratch up something and get it to you. And
Okay,
could you send me your letter? And I'll reference
That letter?
some of the information on it, so.
were you talking about this
Yes.
letter? Okay,
See, that's my payback for you making me come up with the wording on the other. Back from Rocky Mountain Power, have we, on the letter school? sent
Austin
them?
has not mentioned it.
Okay,
I haven't heard anything from them.
I'd like to get that done so we can talk about a master plan for that whole project. You know, be thinking about, you know, because I don't think we can bid. We can't piggyback on their bid, apparently. So it'd pretty much we'd have to get their engineering. We'd have to engineer the parts that we're responsible for, you know, just on the south side of that, and get a project going so that Rocky Mountain could move those power lines. That's why these pieces in between are important to get an understanding on.
Okay. Did want to update you too, the gate on Kep's Crossing has been tried to be tampered with and tried to be forced open on a couple different occasions now. They haven't been able to do it yet, but evidently
That's because
people
you
are
built
trying
good gates.
harder still. So
Define tampered.
they've tried to pull the cap out of the top and figure out how to undo the lock, and they had a kink to the side and almost was able to force enough that it, with more tampering, they very well could have broke the lock.
So that means now you're gonna have to replace that.
Well, right
Or is it
now,
Still it'll make it through the season.
it'll make it through the season. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with it unless somebody goes up there and tampers with it, but where there's a will, there's a way. If
It
somebody
might be a
really goes.
self-solving problem if they make it so that it can't be opened.
Well,
Then the folks with the keys might get involved.
yeah. I don't know, it's, people are driving around the gate on the Eagle Pass too, and driving out through the stuff, and Patrick Tracy keeps calling me and telling me more and more people are going up there, but the road's still closed. And
So,
She'd call the sheriff when somebody's going through there.
what's that?
is it snow free?
No, a lot of it is probably snow flea. I haven't been up there to see it, but there's a lot of it that probably is until you get back to the Dugway, and imagine the Dugway still got snow on
That's why you need caps.
it. Yeah,
I'm just wondering when you reasonably can open it up.
I would think we're between 3.5 and 4 feet right now.
Well, I mean, you need it clear so you can go all the way back into Crofts or.
well, we need it clear enough that we can get back there and use equipment to open up the roads and let them dry out for a couple weeks before we open them up.
I guess my question is, how close are you to that? You know, because there's not a lot of deep snow.
Down here, there's not. Up higher, there's been a lot more snow.
Which is what we want.
Yes, yes, that's what we
We
need.
had an operator out working up in the Bone area pretty much all weekend, so. Because of snowing and blowing snow.
How's 105th then? Is it fairly clear too, except,
105.
isn't it 105th?
115.
115, yeah.
It is probably fairly clear, but
Except we've got that one little.
we've still got that,
Dugway.
well, we still got the portion of it closed, across the main Dugways, so that's still closed.
I guess is what I'm wondering is, you know, you take a frozen morning, if it would pay to clear those, like on 115, to clear that that curve, you know,
Dry out quicker.
yeah. just to
It would
help that.
dry out quicker. I don't know that you could do it all in the morning, but it might take a couple days
It's
to
gonna
do
be
it.
that bad there.
Yeah. Typically right through that first main dugway, there's some snow that gets in there about, well, last year it was 15 feet tall. So,
Last week, there was still snow on the Dugway looking south.
Okay.
we're getting closer to needing to
Spring?
figure out how to, well, yeah, I'm hoping. But, yeah, it's coming, but I don't know that we're there yet, so.
50 degrees Saturday.
15,
Supposed to be in my country.
50. Oh, yeah, so I thought it was warm enough this weekend.
If it gets 50,
There'll be a
take
flood.
a chunk of snow out, so. And then it'll snow again Sunday, right?
I think it's Monday. I think
Or Monday.
I think we've got a storm coming
Okay.
next week.
Next Monday,
Yeah.
good time.
What else you got?
That's all I have.
Yes. Anything else?
Is there anything else from planning and zoning?
No.
Any other questions or? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the meeting then.